So I was your typical 90s kid, showing my age. Um, as such, I was obsessed with superheroes. Things like He-Man, Batman, Superman, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. I can go on forever. The entirety of the Justice League, SWAT Cats. I'll just stop there. And why does that even happen in the first place? I think it's because it sparks something inside of us. I know this because generations ahead of me had their own heroes. Generations after me have theirs now. And we have these stories of inspiration, these legends. We've had them throughout history. Now, we think, okay, well, that's kind of childish. And then, you should kind of grow up out of it. Maybe, I don't know, comics have been around for like 100 years doing well. And even if it wasn't comics, what do we still have people we look up to. We have celebrities. We have our sports teams who are basically our modern day real life heroes, right? And so we are still holding on to this I need a hero thing. And what happens, unfortunately, to everybody else? We conformed. We conform. And we are told, okay, well, that's kind of childish. How about you just put away your childish things and be adult? I don't know what that even means these days, which is unfortunate because that phrase, grow out of it, unfortunately, it is going to be a little harsh here. It's probably coming from someone that wants to bring you down to their level. Like maybe you have these dreams and ideas. They say, well, why don't you just be realistic? that may hurt you, but if you want some encouragement in that situation, just look at their life and see if it's like, okay, where is that coming from? Are they just telling you to be more like them? Probably. So you need to be observant and look at their life. What I also want you to do is be observant in the opposite direction and just look around. You're probably going to have to use the internet, social media, for people in current day that are real and not a comic book, that are doing something quote unquote heroic. And that just means that they're doing something outside the norm, right? If they can do it, you can too, even if it's on some small level. Okay, maybe you are not able to try out for the NFL in your 40s, but what if you just started caring about your body and started training as much of an athlete as you can, so you can at least keep up with your kids? How do you even get to that point? Well, and the other thing is, why does this work so much, right? The comic book industry is a juggernaut, and I don't know all the official stats, but Star Wars is still going, Marvel is still going. Why does this work? It works because there's a formula called the hero's journey, and it is unavoidable because I don't know, it's like it mimics real life. If you don't know what the hero's journey is, just look at any action or whatever story. It goes like this. There's a person. There's a call to action. Something bad happens to them. Their village gets burned down or something. They have a mentor that they learn from a little bit. They learn as much as they can, or at least get to a certain point. Luke Skywalker didn't finish training. But then you have the adventure, blah, blah, blah. Stuff happens. He persists, defeats the bad guy at the end. We just need to mimic that in our own life. And there may not be a bad guy per se. There's a side note. Don't worry about bad guy people. Oh, you need to focus on yourself, one, but the bad guys, quote unquote, these days are I feel like they're concepts, right? Like, don't give in to I'm just going to give examples for me. Don't give in to the dad bod. Don't allow sedentary living to take hold of you or any other people, stuff like that. So How do you mimic this in your own life? You just follow the hero's journey. And now, step one would be getting a goal, because I don't want you to hit the call to action rock bottom. Please don't do that to yourself. Okay. The call to action is just what starts the journey, but it doesn't have to be something catastrophic. It can be sparked by your own goal. Okay. And this is why the anti-vision thing, it's like if you have something that you can see that you just sit around and think, what do I not love in my own life? That can spark your own adventure. So you start with there. That's your call to action. Then you get a mentor. No, some wizard in a cave doesn't exist anymore. Isn't going to pop out and start helping you. Don't go into a cave with an old man wizard. But in this day and age, your quote unquote mentors are so easily accessible. What do I mean? Let's just keep it in the gym, right? You could hire, you could hire a personal trainer and nutritionist. Fortunately for you, you have this wonderful thing called the internet. So instead of staring at memes and stuff, I like YouTube for this because you're able to search, or just the internet in general. You can find a blog, hello, or a YouTube channel, hello. I'm talking about myself, but if you had this nutritionist for athletes, you can binge his information without having to honestly buy his book or pay for his services directly, right? You just do your own research. Even if you have to buy a book on Kindle, it costs you like $10, all right? The personal trainer is quadruple that amount per hour. Just get the book and learn for yourself. So mentors are literally all around you. It's never been easier to access, and you can curate your own. So get the goal, get a mentor, start. I shouldn't have to say that, but start your journey. And then the biggest thing is just don't quit, right? It's I think with goal, like people rag on goals, but I'm just like, well, just don't quit them, because it's not like a movie where unfortunately it's not like life or death situation, but people will just, like, around the New Year's, people will set their New Year's resolution and just kind of stop. You wouldn't do that in a movie. But the character wouldn't just give up. You wouldn't do that if you're playing a video game, right? Like, oh, I made it 50%. If you give up in the game, then the game is over. So, I mean, honestly, if you want a goal setting system, you get your goal, you don't quit, you're going to have bumps in the road, but you just figure those out and you keep going. And my last point here in this hero's journey for modern people is to not be an NPC. And that this is going to sound harsh, but I think it needs, if you made it this far, I think it needs to be a reminder for you and everybody else. What is an NPC? An NPC, it's an insult now, but an NPC, if you don't know, it stands for non-player character. Let's say you're playing World of Warcraft, right? It's one of my favorite franchises. The old stuff. I don't know what's going on now, but it's the guy. You're the character. You have this huge cities. An NPC is this pre-programmed, basically a little computer. It's a character in the game. He's who you walk up to, and he says "Good day" to you, and all he does is sell you stuff, right? And that's his sole purpose. He is just standing there watching the story happen. Okay. He is not a person. He cannot take action in the story. Don't be that in your own life, okay? I understand everybody's in a different situation, but if you're watching this video, analyze your own actions. Don't worry about anybody else, but like, are you just kind of sitting and watching life happen? Are you watching every sports game, even with teams that are not even in your city? And even if you don't have a team in your own city, do you need to watch every sports game? I'm talking to guys here, okay? Or girls too, whatever. I'm talking to everybody. Do you need to watch every college football game every weekend, watching 20-some-year-olds perform? Do you need to level up your elf, engage in this story that you are not the character? You maybe, but your elf is the person that is doing it. You don't need to do all this. And I'm not saying giving up everything, but my phrase is I'm not anti-entertainment. I'm only against it if it is getting in the way of your own life, right? If you have things you know you need to be doing, then you need to probably not be spending 3 hours every night playing video games, staying up late, right? And I'm only harsh about that point because that was me in the past, okay? I had these grand ideas and, nothing spectacular has happened, but I'm at least taking action on it. But it's just like you can't, run for home base if you have all these handbrakes on you. All right. So that is it. Why do all this? Right. One, for the hero's journey, you improve your own life. But then, what does the hero also do? They save the day, and you may not be able to save the planet from a moon crashing into Earth. Hello, my Zelda fans. But the people around you, you are an example no matter what. Okay, you're either an example of what to do or what not to do. Unfortunately, everybody is. You can't escape this. As long as people know about you and your life, you're going to be setting some sort of example. So, if you really want to benefit those people, what do? Maybe at the base layer, you should help yourself, right? You can't pull yourself up. You can't pull, well, how do I say this? It's easier to pull people up a mountain than push. I don't know if that's actually true, but you get the idea, right? So do it for you so that eventually you can save other people, right? So that is it. Be a hero in your own life. If you have any questions about this, comment, subscribe, like. And then, if you want my help one-on-one with your own motivation in the gym, there's a questionnaire down in the link below. It's not an official work with me type thing, but if you have any questions, you can use that. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.